Hey, fellow Alabama Baptist pastors. My name is Daniel Atkins, and I'm the pastor at Taylor Road Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. And I wanted to just share just a couple of minutes of encouragement with you. We're all going through this together, and this is something that, as pastors, we struggle with things. We struggle with ups and downs. And if I'm just being very transparent with you, this is the hardest year of ministry that I've had in 13, 14 years of full-time ministry. And I know it's still May, and we got like several months left, but I'm going to go ahead and say this is the toughest year that I've ever had in ministry. Just a lot of transitions, a lot of changes, and obviously this pandemic that we're all trying to lead our church families through. And I don't know about you, but one of the things that I struggle with is I like for things to be going well. I don't know that anybody really doesn't like that, but I don't really like the valleys. And recently I've been studying the life of Joseph. And one of the things that I've noticed about Joseph is that his life is a series of peaks and valleys, mountaintops and depths. And what's interesting about that is that he had no control over any of that. In fact, Joseph was trying to live a righteous life like we do. I mean, we try to pursue holiness, and we try to do all the right things and serve faithfully. In fact, Joseph, he even resisted sexual immorality when he had every opportunity to do so. He didn't want to sin against God and against his master. He's living a righteous life. He's the favored son, and yet he finds himself being sold into slavery. He resists temptation, and he finds himself going into prison and being forgotten about in prison. He's serving God. And one of the most powerful verses in Joseph's story is in Genesis chapter 39. He's in prison. And in verse 23 of Genesis 39, it says that the Lord was with him in prison. And what this has been teaching me personally, what I want to share with you about is that Joseph was on the mountaintops. A lot of times he was over Potiphar's house. He was the favored son. He had everything going for him, and that's where God wanted him. But then he found himself in the valley. He found himself in the pit, literally, and in prison. Really no fault of his own, but that's where God wanted him. This was not by accident. It was by design. And so a couple of things that God's been teaching me through that is, as much as I love the mountaintop, and I love when everything's going great and going well, I don't need to resist the valleys. I don't need to resist the trials and the struggle, because it might be that that's exactly where God wants me. I'm a kind of a control freak sometimes with my life, and when things start to kind of slip out of my grasp and things start to kind of go haywire and there's conflict, I'm quick to try and have a quick fix to that. But sometimes it's like putting a Band-Aid on something that needs surgery. My quick fixes are really just an attempt for me to stay on the mountaintop, where it's comfortable and where it's exciting. When, again, maybe sometimes I just need to realize God wants me in the valley. And the second thing that God's been teaching me through this is, if you watch Joseph's life, every time he was in the valley, God would bring him out of that to a higher mountain. So, for example, he started as the favored son of the father, and then he gets sold into slavery. It's like the lowest point of his life. But then he comes out of slavery, and God elevates him to the house manager of Potiphar, right? He's got this elevated position. So God takes him from there to here, and then he gets in prison for a few years and is forgotten about. It's another extreme low. That's where God wants him, though. But if you watch, when he comes out of that, he's elevated even more. And what I'm saying is this, that out of our valleys that God is refining us in, he has an even higher purpose for us, an even higher peak on the other side. And so my encouragement to you is really just something I'm going through personally, is we need to embrace those valley experiences and seasons, because that's exactly where God wants us, because he's got something for us on the other side that he's preparing for us. He's preparing us for now. And that's something I heard a long time ago. God is preparing you now for what he has prepared for you down the road. So embrace this season, as hard as it is, and as much as we want to resist it and we want to get out of it. Sometimes this is where God wants us, because he knows where he's taking us. And so, fellow pastors, I just want to encourage you. I'm in this with you. We're in this together. And I'm excited to see what the church of God is going to look like on the other side of this. So stay strong and persevere.